everyone, welcome back. This is Talking About Sports 1, and today we're going to be doing the second episode of the Ranking Every NHL Player from a Certain Team series. Today we're doing a storied franchise in the history of hockey. No cup since 1967, the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's get into it. This is Talking About Sports 1. So number 20 on the list is Trevor Moore. Honestly, I just had to fill the spot with this Kasperi-Kapanen trade happening. And Trevor Moore is just, that guy for the Leafs. So, just, one of, the fringe NHL. So, yeah, he's number 20 on the list. At the 19th spot on the list, it's Frederik Gauthier. He actually played 61 games this year, but was another guy that wasn't very productive. And, just a third, fourth line player. At 18, it's Cody Ceci. This is a controversial figure in the city of Toronto. He wasn't great offensively or defensively, and I don't know if he's a guy that the Leafs should really re-sign this offseason. At number 17, it's Pierre Engvall. Another guy like Gauthier who's just a third, fourth line presence. At number 16, it's Justin Holl, who is a bottom pair Leafs D, but has good potential as a defender. At number 15, it's Travis Dermott, who is a good middle pair defenseman, and I think the Leafs are happy to have him with their lack of defensive depth. At number 14, it's the Leafs backup Jack Campbell. He came over from the Kings in a trade and only played 6 games, so I'd like to see more from him in the future. At number 13, it's the vet Jason Spezza. This guy was really good in his prime, has fizzled out since then, but is still a decent asset for the Leafs. 12th spot on the list is Ilya Mikheyev. Had an unfortunate injury that took him out for some of the season this year, but next year I think he can come back really, really strong. At number 11, it's a very solid center in Alex Kerfoot. Obviously, he's had a ton of trade talks. Probably isn't going to start on the Leafs roster next season, but we'll have to see. So we are halfway through the list at the 10th spot, and it goes to Andreas Johnsson, the slick winger. At the 9th spot on the list is Jake Muzzin, the big, solid defenseman. He got out for some of the playoffs this year, and I think it really hurt the Leafs going forward. At number 8, it's Zach Hyman, the underrated quality asset. This guy plays hard and puts up points. Number 8 on the list. The 2019-20 UFA Tyson Barrie had 39 points in 59 games as a defenseman this year, which I think is very solid and good enough to earn him the number 7 spot on this list. At number 6 is Frederik Andersen. This Leafs team has been very inconsistent, and so has he, and I just feel like if we're judging him with the rest of the team and their inconsistencies, Freddie Andersen's highs are just as high as some of the other great players on this team. So he's number 6 on this list. Entering the top 5, it's young stud William Nylander. Had some contract disputes last season, but really came back strong this season, almost a point per game, which is very good for William Nylander. Top Leafs defenseman Morgan Rielly had a down season this year, but I feel like after the big year that was last year, his leadership, his defense, and his offense honestly carry him to a top 5 spot on this list. Now only the big 3 are left: Tavares, Marner, and Matthews. And at number 3 here I have John Tavares. In some people's eyes, he could be maybe the most balanced offensive player out of all of them. And I'm really happy that he got some great line mates after he didn't really have that with the Islanders. But I still think out of those big 3, Tavares is 3rd, although definitely 3rd on this list, no lower. So with 2 spots left on this list, at number 2, it's Mitch Marner. Now, if I made this list at this point last season, I might have even said Marner is the best player in the Leafs, and I do believe that Marner is still underrated and very good. I just think that Matthews, leading scorer this year, he really proved himself as the best player, one of the best players in the league. But I'll get to him in a second. Mitch Marner second. So at number 1, it's Auston Matthews, the prodigy. And I think obviously this year he's number 1. 80 points this year, just such a good goal scorer. I think he is maybe even a top 3 goal scorer in the league, along with Pastrnak and Ovechkin. I also want to quickly talk about his chances of being the greatest Leafs player of all time. With the Leafs' 100th anniversary, they named Dave Keon the greatest player of all time. Also, Daryl Sittler is another guy that comes to mind. Borje Salming, Johnny Bower, and Turk Broda. But if Matthews continues on this trajectory, I think that by the end of his career, we will 100% be talking about him as one of the greatest Leafs of all time. And I think people will definitely be making arguments for the greatest. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to this part of the video, I want to thank you again for watching. Make sure you go check out my other videos. I just released a huge video of the top 50 prospects right now, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys want to check that out. Check out my other 2 videos. This is just a new channel starting up, and I'm really excited to get, some content out and really try and take off here. So, yeah, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, turn the notifications. This was Talking About Sports 1. Goodbye.